Are back. Your man Diamond K in here, of course. RadioFire.com, the Diamond K Show.com. Definitely an eventful uh, 24 hours for the president. He is in the midst of trying to recover after some words, some of his. I mean, nothing surprising, really. Things that we already knew about the president, as far as his whole vibe and how he feels about the military. We are going to get into that after this. The fallout continues for President Trump. Why do I say that? I think that this, and I've said this many times, this may be the one thing that sticks him. Radio on Fire talks to America through digital broadcast and social media content. We are a rising multimedia platform generating over 350,000 listeners and viewers per month through our audio and video streams from politics, breaking news, celebrity info, sports talk, pop culture, and more. Radio on Fire keeps our audience covered. So, as I was saying, the fallout continues as President Trump is trying to reel from the reports that he disrespected the military. And here's the thing, it's not hard to believe that the president disrespects the military. Things that we've seen him say on video. It is amazing to me, the supporters of Trump, they're gonna try to defend this, but the president has repeatedly disrespected service members, disrespected wounded veterans, disrespected people in the military, whether it's military parades, whether it is medal recipients. There has been a lot of things that the president has done. And this article in the Atlantic that really brought this controversy back to the forefront is really going to cost the president, whether it is Democrats, whether it is Republicans, whether it's independents. Americans support the military, right? You support the military. But this guy, who's supposed to be the commander-in-chief of the military, is calling them losers and suckers. Amazing. Just amazing. And we have so many examples of this. But the Trump supporters are going to still try to make some type of concessions. Try to say it's a hoax. We have it on tape. We have him on videotape doing it. You've seen it. And his brazenness, the fact that he has gotten away with things for so long, that's really going to be his downfall. He's gotten cocky, right? He's gotten cocky because nothing's happened to him for so long. Now his words finally starting to stick. Right? He throws so many things out there. If you remember back in 2018, the president canceled a visit when he was overseas to the American Cemetery, which was near Paris. And he blamed it on the rain, right? He blamed it on the rain. You remember the song. Blamed it on the rain, right? For this last minute decision, saying that the helicopter couldn't fly, Secret Service wouldn't drive him, all that kind of stuff. You're supposed to be in charge, but you're blaming everything else. None of the stuff that he said back then was true. None of it. He rejected the idea of visiting the graves of our brave soldiers because he feared his hair was going to get messed up in the rain. Yep. That's the guy that Republicans have propped up. The guy who talks like that. The guy who talks like that. He also said, "Why should I go to that cemetery? It's filled with losers." In a separate conversation on the same trip, Trump referred to the more than 1,800 Marines who lost their lives as suckers for getting killed. This is the president. This is the person who is supposed to be in charge, the commander in chief. He has no understanding of any concept of patriotism or service or honor or sacrifice. You remember how he talked about the late John McCain. And what I'm talking about is bigger than politics. It's bigger than Democrat, Republican, Independent. It's bigger than that. At the core, we're talking about what it is to be an American, being proud of the people that are willing to risk their lives, the military. Did I mention that he's the commander in chief? He's supposed to be the one. It's amazing. All right. So everyone remembers the late Senator John McCain spent more than 5 years in prison in Vietnam. You remember the president famously, there's no denying this. There's no denying this. He said he's not a war hero. This was in 2015 while he was running for the Republican nomination for president. I like people who weren't captured. You remember that, right? The Trump apologists, the MAGA crowd that are going to try to poke holes in what I'm saying. You remember that. Now, I guess you're going to try to say, well, he said that and people elected him anyway. I guess that's the best that you have, right? But these statements solidify the mindset and the personality of the president that we know already, right? There is no American politician that should be speaking this way, right? He tries to act like he's patriotic, the president, but he's not. Clearly, he's not. Trump hated McCain, fixated on him. And when McCain died in 2018, Trump told his senior staff, according to the Atlantic publication and 3 sources, we're not going to support that loser's funeral. That's what the president said. He got super angry when he saw that the flag was at half-mast. What the F are we doing that for? Guy was an effing loser, the president told aides. Trump, of course, was not invited to McCain's funeral. And the president, of course, is going to deny this. But here's the thing, you're right. You can't deny stuff that we already saw you and heard you say, right, on videotape. There's no denying it. So in 2017, when he visited Arlington National Cemetery, very short drive from the White House. You can really walk it from the White House. Accompanied by John Kelly, all right, who at that time was the Secretary of Homeland Security. This is outrageous here. For a period of time, he actually was also the White House Chief of Staff. So the two men were set to visit Section 60, which is a area of the cemetery that included a burial for those Americans killed in recent wars. John Kelly's son is one of the soldiers that is buried in Section 60. And he was killed. He was a Marine, killed back in 2010 in Afghanistan when he was 29 years old. So they're supposed to be paying respect to the soldier, right? And the president, Donald Trump, said to the father, I don't get it. What's in it for them? What's in it for them? So he doesn't understand service or patriotism or honor or anything like that. He doesn't understand it. That's why he makes some of the decisions that he makes. Everything has to be transactional. You get something, I get something. He doesn't understand why someone would do something for someone other than themselves, because he's selfish. And he can't understand why a soldier would go out and fight for this country. The country that he wants to continue to lead. It's amazing. It's amazing. And so when you think about the words that he said, the numerous outlets, even Fox News has confirmed this. And Trump wants to get everybody fired who confirmed it. These are facts. These are facts. So the president, due to his own words are going to be what takes him down. His own words. Veterans groups condemning the president over these reports that he called fallen soldiers losers and suckers. Disabled veterans, he disrespects them. People that were injured in the line of duty for the country that he's in charge of. I mean, it's outrageous. It's outrageous. And saying that, why would I go to the cemetery? It's filled with losers. And that they were suckers for getting killed. Suckers for getting killed. So just so we're clear, Nazis, he said, very fine people. Soldiers who fought the Nazis, they were losers. This is the guy y'all voted for? This is your hero, Trump supporters, MAGA crowd. This is the guy that y'all raise up. This is the guy who called himself the best president since Abraham Lincoln? Is that what he said? It's not surprising, nor is it the first time that Donald Trump has attacked veterans. It's not the first time, but it is a new low. Even for Donald Trump, this is a new low. And there's no rhyme or reason for his attack. He just blatantly says stuff. And I guess Trump supporters, y'all going to try to say he didn't mean it. He was just joking. If you remembered his disrespect to the Gold Star family, if you remember his disrespect to the widow of a fallen soldier, you remember so many things that he said. This is just, and we're just talking about the military. Donald Trump is scared. He's fearful. He's a bully, but at the same time, he's scared. He has a lot of fear. He does not see heroism in fighting because he can't fight. He's a coward. And what frequently happens with cowards is they are exposed. And Donald Trump is being exposed. And it just so happens that during his presidency, he's been fixated on military parades. Why? Because he's trying to imitate other world leaders that he's seen, right? Not because he really values the military. He thinks it makes him look strong. If you remember him trying to get tanks to roll down in D.C. and all kind of craziness that he wanted to do that did not happen, thankfully. 2018, there was a White House planned meeting for an event of a military parade. Trump asked his staff to not include wounded veterans on the grounds that spectators would feel uncomfortable. Here's the quote: "Nobody wants to see that," he said. This reporting from Jeffrey Goldberg in The Atlantic is very disheartening, not surprising. And that in itself is surprising. The fact that it is not, we're not surprised by this. We're not surprised that he disrespected amputees, veterans. It's outrageous. And he supposedly went to a military themed school, right? Military themed, military light, kind of like a military, but not really. And Fox News confirming the reports. Multiple outlets confirming. These quotes are coming from people that worked with and for the president. Retired generals blasting Trump. "You're no patriot," they say. Non-negotiable disrespecting the military. And Joe Biden is naturally angry. He has his son, veteran, former President Bush, veteran. You disrespected him as well. So if you or your family member served in the military, the president thinks that you're a loser and you're a sucker. You have to get out and vote. We cannot have our commander-in-chief any longer be someone of this caliber, leading this great nation during a very, very difficult time. Trump is not the guy we need in office. He's not the one. He's not the one. And he's going to try to spin this some kind of way. Trump supporters that are really into him are going to try to dismiss this, but it's serious. And America has a choice to make. You always have a choice. But right now, we have a very serious choice to make. Whether we're going to continue in the gutter with President Trump, or whether we're going to rise up, clean ourselves off, and try to move forward as a country. There are Republicans, Democrats, independents that are outraged at this. And some of these things we knew, some of the things we did not know. But at what point are we going to hold this so-called commander-in-chief accountable? At what point? What are we going to do it? Just tune in and listen to the Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire. Donald Trump, the scum of the earth. That is something that is well known. Even his supporters know he's scum. But they like him because he gets some judges. You got some judges that really like him. We're not even going to talk about the fake tax, that tax scam. We're not even going to talk about that right now. We're not even going to talk about that. We're going to take a quick break, come back, be back. So here in Baltimore is going to move into phase 2 of reopening on Tuesday. Baltimore City, okay? And a few additional allowances will let movie theaters and other venues reopen, according to the mayor, Jack Young. Effective on Tuesday at 5:30 p.m., the following establishments will be open at 50% maximum occupancy. indoor dining, religious institutions, retail stores, indoor recreation, and casinos. So, indoor and outdoor facilities can have gatherings that are capped at 25% of the fire code maximum occupancy. There is no fire code maximum occupancy, then the maximum is 25 people. So this is happening in Baltimore City on Tuesday. Most of the state will move into phase 3. And that happened as of yesterday. So Baltimore City a little bit behind everybody else. No surprise there. And we definitely want to urge Baltimoreans to remain vigilant. The mayor said that health officials will meet next week with Baltimore City Recreation and Parks officials to finalize recommendations for fall sports. So we're definitely going to see that. The mayor also says that people should avoid cookouts or visiting friends' homes over the weekend. This being a holiday weekend, of course, people like to cook out. I mean, it's pretty much officially the end of the summer, unofficially the end of the summer. But definitely want to, and this is coming from the mayor. Right now, this is a quote, "We want to focus on harm reduction and public health safety for the holiday weekend," which we're in right now. "We do not want to erase the gains over the past month by loosening restrictions now. I know that people are not looking to catch COVID, but it's looking for you." That is coming from the mayor. That is interesting. Okay. And let's go to some comments here. This is an interesting one. You need to watch some Officer Brandon. What is she talking about? Shannon, be more clear. What are you talking about right now? Trump supporters are going to say anything. What facts? What facts are you saying that we need to watch for? You think that Trump supports the military? Oh, I got you. You think that because Trump wanted military people to stay at the Trump Hotel, that's showing support for the military? What has Trump done for the military? Exactly. I know what he has said disparagingly about the military. Tell me what he's done for the military. And let's weigh his words versus his actions. She's probably not going to have anything to say about that. She's going to call it a hoax. But Trump supporters are fascinating and interesting to me because it shows me that people are quick to just go for anything. Why would you want someone in charge that speaks and acts and does this type of stuff? Why? I enjoy talking to people. I say this often, that feel differently than me, that have different opinions than me. Definitely on social media at the Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. You can communicate. We can go back and forth about it, and I always keep it respectful. Since we're talking about election stuff, judge has removed Kanye West. You remember Kanye West? From the Virginia presidential ballot. I mean, the whole presidency attempt of Kanye West is a joke. But it was revealed that Kanye and his presidential campaign was accused of deceptive practices in Virginia. Now, a judge has officially removed the rapper from the Virginia ballot after discovery of 11 electoral oaths that were obtained by improper, fraudulent, or misleading deeds. Kanye West. No surprise. I mean, there's no surprise there. The Virginia Board of Elections noted that Kanye met the requirements needed to get on the ballot of the state, and that required a 5,000 petition signature, demonstration that was needed, along with 13 electors who pledged support to West's campaign. Since then, Richmond Circuit Court Judge Joy Taylor has invalidated 11 out of the 13 elector oaths submitted by his campaign. Well, I mean, you know who he looks up to, right? He looks up to Trump, so you have to expect that he's going to cheat. This comes after the lawsuit was brought up by two Virginia residents who say that the signature gatherers for Kanye allegedly deceived them into pledging their service to his campaign. Kind of like, you order some cheesesteaks, here, sign here, and then it was a ballot support for Kanye. I mean, it's, they're trying anything. And when I say Kanye campaign, this is really an arm of the Trump campaign, because they have a lot of people working with Kanye that worked for and with Trump. And it's amazing. It's amazing when I hear people talk about you gotta be a free thinker. What has the Democrats done? A politician is a politician, right? You got to hold them accountable regardless. When I hear people start talking about free thinking, right? When they start talking like that, they're always supporters of Republicans, right? And they use this buzzword of free thinking, which means that they're absolutely not free thinking. They're being programmed by conservatives. That's just what happens, right? And a couple of things before we get out of here. So, if you remember, we talked about R. Kelly being beaten up in jail, and it happens. People get into fights in jail, right? And his attorneys were trying to get him out of jail based on that fight. It has been revealed that the inmate that attacked him now alleges that he was forced to beat R. Kelly. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. He's claiming now that he was forced to beat R. Kelly. He's currently, and the guy's name is Jeremiah Farmer, currently in jail for racketeering conspiracy. He gave a handwritten filing to the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals titled, "The Government Made Me Attack R. Kelly." And Farmer, who wrote a motion to the appeals panel and asked for an extension for filing his docket statement. And he also noted that the pandemic slowed his ability to make legal copies on a computer, the library computer, in a timely fashion. So he had to handwrite it, right? So says that he was denied his ability to use the computer. So he said this is the person who allegedly attacked R. Kelly in jail. Due to the most blatant government corruption in Farmer's case and being in lockdown for R. Kelly protests, I physically beat Mr. Kelly in an attempt to shed media spotlight on Farmer's case to prove government corruption and helping Farmer's innocence to prevail. Right. Since the attack, R. Kelly's attorney has made numerous requests to have the singer released until his trial. And so naturally, these requests have been denied. There's a bunch of foolishness. I don't understand why R. Kelly is. I mean, it's just craziness. I don't understand. Last story before we get out of here. Diddy is going to open a third charter school in the Bronx next week. In 2018, he revealed that he pledged $1 million to open a new charter school in the Bronx. Now, Diddy is set to open a third charter school. So salute to him. People don't talk enough about this kind of stuff. And I definitely want to salute him. Diddy and a educational speaker named Dr. Steve Perry formed a partnership, and that finds them launching their third charter school. It's Capital Bronx Prep. Diddy and Perry and other campuses that they have are located in Harlem and in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Also, the locations have offered education to thousands of students since their openings. Definitely salute this. Diddy said this of the newest location, noting that the school will open on September 8th, 2020 via remote learning. And it is, they have the intent of transitioning between this hybrid in-person school thing once the COVID pandemic is behind us and everything is deemed safe. So Diddy said this: we're not just teaching reading, math, and coding. We are grooming future leaders that will change their communities and the world. So salute to Diddy and Dr. Perry and all the other people that are involved in this school. I think that is a great thing. And I think that it's not talked about enough. I mean, y'all going to talk about Mace and the Locks and, different things like that, Loon and different bad boy artists. But let's also talk about some of the good things that Diddy has done. Advertise your business, connect your message with our engaged audience of over 350,000 listeners and viewers per month by going to radioonfire.com/advertise. Follow the Diamond K Show on Spotify or your favorite podcast network. New shows drop daily, radioonfire.com, thediamondkshow.com. And of course, as always, you can support the program via Cash App, $ DJ Diamond K. And of course, your donations help us continue to do what we do here on the program. And that is to bring you independent news, progressive opinion on politics, social issues, entertainment, and much more. DJDiamondK@gmail.com for booking and media requests. Next week is going to be a very interesting week. We have several interviews that are coming up. And if you want to get on the show, DJDiamondK@gmail.com is how you do that. And, come on, chop it up. We can chop it up. Until next time, if you see it, then you can be it. It is all about having vision. This has been Diamond K. I'm going to be back later on today, just for the record. Some other things that I need to get off my chest. See you guys a little bit later.